Hey, Strummer Dundee here, and when I'm not complaining about pop culture or badly playing video games or sometimes opening loot crate boxes on the internet, I teach high school English. And being that I work in public education, I see the deep down things that maybe not everybody sees in public education. And I've been kind of annoyed recently because we're in October, so right now, as of filming this video, we're in October. School's been in session for a while, and usually when you have back to school type things that go on in September and August, I tend to see a whole lot of videos and articles and things like that about all these things that don't get taught in schools. So I decided to make 10 things that, yes, they actually do teach you in school, in public school, provided the person going to school pays attention, cares, and goes out of their way a couple times to take specific classes. Those are the caveats. So here's 10 things that, yes, we do teach in public school. Really. So number one that I see quite a lot is money management. People complain, oh, we don't know how to do a budget. We don't know how to do credit cards. We don't know how to do things like that. Pretty much every school, public school that I know of, at least where I live, even when I went to school, which was, less than 10 years ago, I left high school, had a career class. And this is going to cover another thing on the list as well. But in the career class, they taught you how to make a monthly budget. They taught you how to calculate interest for credit cards and loans and various other things that, yeah, are still relevant. They actually taught you how to balance a checkbook, even though I think that's personally not really relevant in today's society anymore with banking apps, but you can do it. It's pretty easy. It usually is a requirement, usually connected with health class and some kind of intro to computer class all in one. Most kids have to take a class like that at some point in time. Now, maybe they've gotten rid of it, I don't know, but there's still business classes that you can take as electives, which do have money management as well. And most math classes are going to have at least a tiny amount of money management. It's one easy way to make math problems really accessible and applicable to real world life when you're talking about things like money. Most kids do have to at some point go through interest formulas and things like that to learn how to calculate compounding interest. So you're going to get it in math. If you take a business elective, you're going to get it there. And usually if you're in 6th or 9th grade, at least again where I'm at, you're going to go through a career skills class at some point. That also leads me to the next one, which is how to get a job. School doesn't teach me how to get a job. Well, it can't teach you how to get a lot of specific jobs because if there's 2,000 kids in a high school, they might have up to 1,500 different jobs when they get older. So no, school's not going to teach you how to get a specific job because, sorry, it's public school. They gotta cater to a lot of people. But they do teach you skills. Same career class, you usually learn how to write a resume, you learn how to write letters of reference or ask for letters of reference. Often teachers, at least in high school, do letters of recommendation as well. There's also clubs you can go into. Service clubs teach you good skills about how to network with people. There's public speaking, Toastmasters types clubs at most schools. There can be debate clubs, which also teach you good speaking skills to talk to people. Lots of options there. And again, resumes are taught at least in a couple different subjects. If you are a senior, usually you're in an economics class, which they even do resume writing built in a lot of the times. So there's that as well. So we've got 2 down. So number 3 that I usually hear quite a lot is just general sort of adult skills, like how to drive a car or how to do specific things. Driver's ed is still offered in a lot of places. When I went to high school, it was something you had to take over the summer. Driver's ed is usually available online. And the school I'm working at, they offer a real physical driver's ed as well. So, yep, teach you how to drive a car, teach you how to be safe on the road, but you have to sign up for the class. So that's another thing as well. Fourth thing, cooking and nutrition. So this is going to be in 2 classes. One, remember when I said that career class? That's usually linked in with your health class. That's going to be in 6th grade or 9th grade or whatever your introductory grade level is for that particular school. They usually go over nutrition, They might have some antiquated ideas about the food pyramid and things like that, which the United States government has issues with the food pyramid and things like that. But they do teach the basics about calories and about nutrition and all of those types of things. It's already there. Also, a lot of schools now, even the school that I am at, have culinary programs where they're actually teaching kids how to cook. So while no, there is no standard home ec style class anymore, yes, you can still learn how to cook healthy meals if you take the class, and you can learn about health in general just by existing because you usually have to take a health class at some point, which has nutrition as at least a tiny part of it. And then if you go into college, you also have to take a nutrition class. Health and nutrition, have to have it, part of the general curriculum. Next question. So another one is how to vote and how to do things in the political process, which I do think is something that needs to be emphasized. That's number 5, by the way. I do think that's something that needs to be emphasized quite a lot. People need to be reminded of it. Even adults need to be reminded of it. But yeah, everyone's required to take a government class where you learn about the state and national governments. They might not teach you about local representative governments, but that is an option. They do tell you about the system. They do introduce that to you. Pretty much every high school I have ever been at offers registering to vote sessions because kids are turning 18 all the time and they can register to vote. They can even pre-register to vote. So they are able to register so they'll get their voter ID right when they turn 18 without having to wait until they're 18 to do so. So yes, school does inform you about the political process. They can't lobby because it's a public school, if we're talking about public school, but they can give you the basics. It's there. It's something you really can do. Number 6, which is something that especially irks me as an English teacher, is people saying they don't learn like good communication skills or how to verbally express themselves. Guys, that was your English curriculum. Sorry, maybe you weren't paying attention, maybe you had a bad teacher, I don't know. So when you're in an English class, you don't just learn how to read and write. That's only 2 of the English skills. You also learn speaking, listening, and viewing, which is reading pictures, reading advertisements, reading movies, reading comic books, anything. So yes, if you ever went in a unit and everybody's had a couple argumentation units in high school, if you ever had to write a speech, if you ever had to write an argumentative essay, those were communication skills. They were teaching you rhetorical strategies, how to combine evidence and elaboration to get a person on your side. So while they may not have been, hey, how to look somebody in the eye and use proper gestures and things like that, they did give you kind of the background. Because again, it's hard to individually work with 25 to 30 kids in a classroom to make them all great speakers. But you could also sign up for debate, or theater, television production, or a lot of other electives and clubs that would also kind of foster that as well. So that was 6? Is that 6? I think that was 6. Number 7, how to do things with your hands, manual labor type of things. Like, I don't know how to use a hammer, I don't know how to use a drill, I don't know how to make things. Electives, again. So I know there's only room for a certain amount of electives, but that is something that's just an option. When I went to high school, we had an auto body kind of workshop area. We had regular shop, which was mostly woodworking. The school I'm at now has art classes that deal with a mixture of like woodworking and mixed media. They also have a great ag program that's dealing with how to use machinery. So again, it does depend on the luck of the draw with schools and funding and things like that, but it is in fact offered. It's there. It's real. Number 8. Sorry, it's been a long day. Number 8, people usually say that school never really taught them how to do contracts and things like that, like business type stuff, paperwork type stuff, which is going to be close to number 10 as well. Again, these were things that you probably missed in English class. How to read things carefully, how to broaden your vocabulary so you understand the language that's there, how to understand complex syntax so you're not misreading a sentence. Those were all close reading strategies in either a reading class, again, could be in a business elective as well, and also in your English class. So, yep, that's something you got taught in addition to. Number 9, most people say they did not learn basic computer skills in class or in any kind of high school setting. Which, again, if you went to high school a long time ago, yes, that probably happened because 1, money, and 2, was a long time ago. Now, if you're in a semi-decent school, again, money matters, you usually have hands-on access to a computer pretty much whenever you have the ability to get to said computer. So if you don't have one in every single classroom, they're in the media center available, wireless printing, Wi-Fi, all of that. Ask a librarian. Also, computer and business classes exist. Also, we have heavy technology integration in English and social studies classes as well. So you probably will. In addition to that, in middle school, even long way back when I went to middle school, every kid had to take a basic computer class. You couldn't get out of middle school without learning how to make a PowerPoint, a spreadsheet, and a business report Word document. So I learned Excel when I was in 6th grade, and I didn't even have a choice. It's out there, it's real. And the last one, which still bothers me, is number 10. School never taught me how to do my taxes. No. Have you seen tax forms? They're long, they're complex, they're ridiculous, and they can change with the government's whim. But school did probably teach complex reading and writing skills. Same thing. Read the fine print, read a manual, use the people skills that you learned from those communication pieces from English class and drama and anything else to hire an accountant or go somewhere to get your taxes done. Also, and this is not a sponsored video, TurboTax is like free, y'all. It's like free. You just put in your info. If you need help, read the directions because you learned critical reading skills as well. So those are 10 things that, yes, it is entirely possible to learn in high school if you put in the time and the effort, you have a decent school, and again, you cared at some point. So, just want to make this quick video talking about that. This isn't meant to, demean anybody. It's just, I think a lot of people don't realize how many opportunities there are in the world, especially now that we have things like YouTube and just everything that's on the internet. If you feel like you're not being taught something in school and you care about it, you have access to do things. Everybody has access to do things. It might be very difficult. You might not have immediate internet access, but if you're watching this right now, you do. So go learn the thing that you don't think you learned in school. Maybe your school didn't have enough money to teach it. Maybe your teacher was tired or lazy. Maybe you just went to school at a time where that wasn't accessible, but it's accessible now. All of those things you can learn in high school and more. We've got kids graduating high school at 11 and going on to college to be doctors by the time they're 17. The world's an amazing place. So if you encounter something that you don't know, use skills that have hopefully been taught to you and go figure it out on your own. Stay curious. Stay thirsty for knowledge. You could even say, stay beyond voracious. And have a good day.